Hello everyone, it's Paola and welcome to video everyday April or something like that. Video number 2. What am I even saying? Who knows? Today it is Thursday, aka Theater Thursday, and I wanted to open up this little tiny mini series that I'm gonna be doing for every Thursday of April. I am going to be talking about something having to do with musical theater, and I'm very excited, and I thought I should just get this video out of the way because it's all about my unpopular opinions. Alright, so I want to start by saying that this is my number one musical theater unpopular-ish opinion, and I say unpopular-ish with a lot of care because I know a lot of people agree with me, but I also know a whole lot of people that don't agree with me. So, okay, I'm just gonna say it. Jack and Catherine in Newsies are just incredibly forced. There was no chemistry between the characters. I just don't think those two characters go well together. Mostly because I think that Catherine was added to Newsies for the sake of giving Jack a love interest that was a woman. Because if you have seen the original Newsies movie musical, Jack's love interest is actually Davy's sister, and that's literally the only use she has in the entire movie. Make Jack realize that there's a reason to stay in New York as opposed to going to Santa Fe. And the journalist is played by a man. And I very, very personally think that yes, it is justified that Catherine was turned into a woman. I know that they based her on an actual journalist of the time. I think her name is Nellie. But ultimately, I do feel like it's pretty gimmicky, and it's actually quite creepy if you think about it. I think that she's at least 21 and Jack is supposed to be 17 years old, and that age gap just really bothers me. And because I feel like there's no need to make Jack have a love interest that's a woman. Like, if you wanted to add a love interest, it could have just been Davy, in my opinion, or it could have been Crutchy, or it could have been absolutely no one, and we would still be having that female empowerment and girl power moment with Catherine being a female journalist. Unpopular opinion number 2 is that I really don't like this trend that pop culture things are getting adapted to stage. Let me be clear, I do love the cast recordings that come out. Pretty much any movie that was turned into a musical in the recent years. Just I don't like it in general. I think that it's just a way to make the thing inaccessible to other people, because Broadway is not cheap at all. And I'm not saying that it should be free or that it should be pro-shot. I do think that it should be more accessible. I'm just saying that I don't find anything original about the musical adaptations of movies, because while I do think that there are very cool songs in the musicals, like Heathers is one of my favorite musicals. Mean Girls gave us really incredible songs. My personal favorites are Sexy and Someone Gets Hurt. But if you really look at the pieces, not necessarily if you watch a bootleg or anything, but if you just listen to the musical, you realize that there's no change whatsoever. Like, everything is all the same, and I don't find any joy in that. As much as I find joy in the songs, I feel like I could really survive without the musical adaptations of the movies. I also don't like it when people do things for attention in the community. Like, I've seen a couple of people go about saying like, oh, so this is Barrett Wilbur-Weed, and you might know her from Mean Girls, she plays Janice, or you might know her from Heathers, where she played Veronica, or if you're me, you might know her from this other thing that I saw her from and that apparently no one else knows about. Like, why do people brag about that kind of stuff? Like, I get it, like, it's special and you know her from something else, but it's like that tone that I feel like you're bragging about it, and I don't like it. I think it's quite tacky. My next unpopular opinion, and I actually don't think this is as unpopular as I think it is, but I actually think that bootlegs are helping musical theater become more popular. I don't think they are the worst thing and the thing that is legitimately killing musical theater. I need more fat characters featured in musical theater whose characteristic or whose distinctive characteristic isn't that they are fat, because if you look at Heather's Hairspray and Bring It On, the characters, the fat characters, get ostracized because of their fatness, and I don't like that. That narrative is tired. We need to move on. We need to find a new narrative. West Side Story sucks. I hate that musical with a passion. I remember knowing very little about it because in third grade we were doing a festival and my class was dancing to America, which is the only song along with I Feel Pretty that deserves rights from that musical. Then I realized that I had never seen the musical, so I decided to watch the movie. I think it's from 1956, maybe 1957. And wow, I hated it. It's bad. And I particularly hated because it's supposed to be this Romeo and Juliet retelling with a race commentary, but I feel like the race commentary gets lost in the way because Maria in the movie is played by a white actress, and a lot of the actors who are playing Puerto Ricans are, one, not actually Puerto Rican, and two, not as brown as they are made to be for the movie, so they're pretty much doing brownface, and I hate that. But also, in every single production that has been made of West Side Story, every single one of the Puerto Rican characters is white passing or light skinned, with the exception of Anita. And to add insult to injury, the girl who plays Maria in the movie, she's very talented and I love her, but she's not actually Puerto Rican. So I feel like the representation there is not as authentic as it's supposed to be. Broadway is not as diverse as it claims to be. I remember there was a time, I think it was 2016, maybe 2017, when Hamilton got nominated for all these Tonys. It was also the only time where actors of color were also nominated in the title roles for musical theater, and also the black people that were nominated in those roles were actually the winners. And then from then on, it's been like, where's the color? Where's the spice that we need? And it frankly makes me incredibly upset because I distinctly remember that the 26 Tonys priding themselves on not being as white as the Oscars. And then you look around and it's like, okay, well, featuring 2, maybe 3 musicals that are not white does not make up for the entirety of the white people that are there and that are more noticed in general. Anastasia, Dear Evan Hansen, and Hamilton are unbelievably overrated. Hamilton, first of all, it's a little bit messy that it's a hip-hop musical and it features slave owners, and also the phrase "we'll be like Moses claiming our promised land" makes me incredibly uncomfortable because I feel like it definitely ignores indigenous people that was in the United States prior to it being the United States. So yeah, also In the Heights is way better. With Dear Evan Hansen, I don't know what it is, but first of all, Pasek and Paul are not my favorite composers. I just don't feel as emotionally affected by their songs. Specifically with Dear Evan Hansen, the thing that I hate, it does not talk about mental health as well as it thinks it does. Lastly, Anastasia, oh my god. I watched the bootleg from before it went to Broadway and I hated it. I just don't understand the need to add the Soviet soldier. Why? Furthermore, I feel like there were too many songs that did not add to the plot at all. And third, we didn't get the Anastasia grandma scenes. In the movie, there's a part where she goes to the grandmother's like little VIP room and they talk and she's like, oh my god, you really are my grandma. Oh my god, you really are my granddaughter. We're finally together in Paris. It's beautiful. In the musical, we only see that Dimitri is like, yeah, you should definitely go with your grandma, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just gonna go. And Vlad and Dimitri have these heart-to-heart talk about how Dimitri shouldn't let Anya go and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I honestly don't care if you want Anya for you. She just found her grandmom. Can we have at least this moment of finding your estranged grandmom? And the musical was like, nope. All right, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, if you disagree. Let me know some of your unpopular musical theater opinions. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, go ahead and hit subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.